Please join me for a moment of silence. Now, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll move right on to proclamations and special presentations. Tonight we'll be swearing in new firefighters. Chief Walls.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Commission. It's, again, my pleasure to come before you and introduce you to our 5 newest firefighter paramedics. They're in their third week of their fourth week. Last week was a hard week. They went through live fire training, RIT, so they made it through last week. And this week they're doing EMS training. And after this week, they're ready to come on shift, and they're prepared and ready to serve the community. So starting this Saturday, they'll be out on the trucks serving our community. We're really proud of this group. They've done a great job, and it's my pleasure to bring them forward to you now to introduce you to them. So at this point, we'll have Roderick and your sponsor, if you'll please come up. Roderick Castro. Noah Rhodes. Luis Marquez. Sebastian Molina. And Dylan Sharp. All right, if you'll turn and face your sponsor. Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Roderick Castro.
I, Noah Rhodes.
I, Luis Marquez.
I, Sebastian Molina.
I, Dylan Sharp.
Having been appointed to the position of firefighter.
Having been appointed to the position of firefighter.
Do hereby solemnly swear and affirm.
Do hereby solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will support, defend, and obey.
That I will support, defend, and obey.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the State of Florida.
The Constitution of the State of Florida.
The laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee.
The laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee.
And the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department.
And the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Everyone's there right at this camera. 3, 2, 1 more. Wonderful.
Thank you, sponsor. You may have your seat.
So I start in this direction. All right. 3, 2, 1. One more. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. And I just want to remind the audience and our city staff that this is in our quest to fulfill our 4th shift. So we're down to 8 firefighters left. We've all offered 8 firefighters positions. They've all accepted it. Hopefully they'll begin on July 6th, and then we'll have one last new hire ceremony, and we'll be done with our 4th shift. So thank you for your support through all this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. We will now move on to proclamations. We have two of them: City of Kissimmee Fire Department founding date and World Elder Abuse Awareness Month.
And will Fire Chief Jim Walls please join the City Commission? You could bring more. This is a proclamation for City of Kissimmee Fire Department founding date. Whereas new information on the existence of the Kissimmee Fire Department in the year 1899 has been discovered. And whereas this discovery was found in the May 1899 fire insurance map from the Sanborn Paris Map Company Limited and stamped by the Library of Congress. And whereas in the 1899 map, it indicates that the Kissimmee Fire Department existed with 32 volunteer members, 1 hook and ladder truck, 24 water buckets, and a fire alarm to be located at a future bell tower. Now, therefore, the City Commission of the City of Kissimmee hereby proclaims that 1899 is the founding date of the City of Kissimmee Fire Department.
I'm going on my 39th year here since I've started here. On our package it says established 1909. As we were going through the accreditation process several years ago, we were doing a lot of research and deep dive into the history of the fire department, and we found some documents that in 1899 we had a fire department. They were right there at Pleasant and Stewart Street, and so we just felt with tradition and history that we wanted to make sure we got our right date on our establishment. So 1899 is our new date, so thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming up. Our next proclamation is for World Elder Abuse Awareness Month, and will AARP volunteers Hilda Diaz and Ann Charis please join the commission? And whereas Florida's 6.5 million older adults deserve to live with dignity, security, connection, purpose, and to be empowered to choose how they live as they age. And whereas millions of older Americans experience some form of elder abuse every year, and less than 5% of elder abuse cases are reported to authorities. And whereas elder abuse may involve physical, psychological, sexual, or financial abuse, and includes forms of neglect. And whereas elder abuse is a silent treatment that robs older adults of their health, dignity, safety, security, and in some cases, their lives. And whereas elder abuse is a public health and human rights issue for which every Floridian bears responsibility to help prevent, identify, and report. And whereas social and community connections can significantly reduce the risk of elder abuse. Now, therefore, the City Commission of the City of Kissimmee hereby proclaims the month of June as World Elder Abuse Month.
Thank you. We now move on to service awards for April, May, and June. City Manager.
Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, this is our opportunity to recognize employees that have reached milestones in their service to our community and with the City of Kissimmee, and this is for the second quarter of 2026. First up, with 5 years with the Fire Department, Tommy Hill. Yeah. That's it. This way.
All right. 3, 2, 1 more. Break it.
Next up, with 5 years from the Haven on Vine, Teresa Fury. Also with 5 years with Public Works, Angel Cruz. And with our finance department, our finance director, Tavia Ritchie. Also with 5 years, and I'm not sure she could make it, Isabella Bellamo with the police department. And also with 5 years with the police department, Alexa Merritt. And finally with the Public Works department, Will Marie Pagan. So we'll make sure that they get their awards at a later date. Well, everybody, even the folks that were here will get them at a later date. Our next milestone is 10 years. So first up with the finance department, with 10 years, Alex Santos. Congratulations, Alex. Thank you for the service.
3, 2, 1.
Next up with 10 years with Public Works, I'm not sure he could make it, Cedric Jones. And then also with 10 years with the police department, Kyle Bywater. I'm not sure he could make it either. And then finally with the police department, I know he could not make it, was Christopher Cabral with 10 years. Next up is our 20-year milestone, and I'm not sure any of these guys can make it. We're going to let them have their names announced anyway. With the Public Works Department, Alvin Melendez. And then also with the Public Works Department, Miguel Ruiz. And then finally with 20 years with the Police Department, Melanie Poole. And finally with 30 years, and she definitely could not make it, with the Development Services Department, Kathy Finneran. Thank you to all.
Thank you, City Manager. As they make their way out, we'll continue. Public hearing, first and second readings. 4A, public hearing, second and final reading. Madam Clerk, would you read the title into the record?
An ordinance of the City Commission of Kissimmee, Florida, establishing the Hilliard Isle Community Development District located in the city of Kissimmee and containing approximately 451 acres, providing for the authority of the ordinance, providing for the establishment of the boundaries for the Hilliard Isle Community Development District, providing for the designation of the initial Board of Supervisors, providing for the district name, providing for statutory provisions governing the district, providing for conflict and severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Laws and Ordinances, and providing an effective date.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, this is the second and final reading to adopt an ordinance that would establish a community development district for the Hilliard Isle community. The community is planned for the east side of Simpson Road, north of Bonaventura Boulevard. It's destined to have up to 3,000 residential units, along with additional multifamily and commercial units. This community development district will be the funding mechanism for a lot of the improvements as well as the amenities that will be built in that neighborhood, and will be assessed only on those future residents within the development. So after holding the public hearing, staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Does any commissioner have I'm sorry, this is a public hearing. Do any members of the public wish to speak on this item? Hearing none. Does any commissioner have a conflict of interest, ex parte communication, or site visit to declare?
Myself went to the ribbon cutting or the groundbreaking of that event, and
Okay. All right. So for the record, Commissioner Martinez did go to the groundbreaking. So did I. And we disclosed that at our last meeting on the first reading. I also have had since.
For the record, that is not conflict or ex parte.
but just to stay consistent, like you said last time we said it, so this is the second reading. Thank you.
Thank you. I have visited the site. Does it matter at this point? Took pictures? Okay. Just want to make sure we're all on the clear. So I have visited and taken pictures and sent it to the Fonayeras as well. So we will allow for discussion. Any discussion, commissioners?
None on my behalf, Madam Mayor.
None? Commissioners? No. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the final reading of proposed ordinance 26-15?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Vice Mayor Edie. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
This is roll call to adopt ordinance 3139, establishing the Hilliard Isle CDD. Commissioner Martinez?
Aye.
Commissioner Ortiz?
Aye.
Commissioner Edie? Aye. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Alvarez is absent. Mayor Espinosa?
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. This is item 5A, again, public hearings. Public hearing amendment to the Section 108 loan application, substantial amendment to the 2025-2029 consolidated plan and 2025 annual action plan and accompanying resolution. Seth.
Good evening, Mayor Espinosa and Commissioners. The purpose of this public hearing is to receive comments regarding the Second Amendment of the city's current consolidated plan that deals with the years 2025 through 2029 and the fiscal year 2025 annual action plan. This amendment is related to the city's application for a Section 108 loan through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The first amendment was approved by the City Commission back in January 20th, and that amendment introduced the city's intent to apply for a loan in the amount of $3 million. This proposed second amendment increases that loan request to $4 million. That additional $1 million is needed to fund infrastructure improvements that are necessary to support the proposed rehabilitation at the Haven on Vine apartments. In accordance to the city's citizen participation plan, this public hearings process is necessary in order to amend the consolidated plan and the annual action plan in order to increase the loan amount. We welcome and encourage any public comments that may come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Francis. We appreciate it. This is a public hearing. I don't have any cards on this item. Do any members of the public wish to speak? Hearing none, we will now allow for discussion. Commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to discuss on this?
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Hearing none, motion to approve the amendment to the Section 108 loan application, substantial amendment to the 2025-2029 consolidated plan and 2025 annual action plan and the accompanying resolution.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Vice Mayor Edie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. We now move on to hear the audience. We have several cards. We'll start with Ms. Stephanie Nielsen. Get 3 minutes. Ms. Nielsen, name and address for the record, please, at which time the microphone will turn off. Thank you.
Stephanie Nelson, 1715 Sunny Street, Kissimmee. Good evening, Commissioners. I'd like to speak tonight about decorum, because it seems that decorum is a standard that is applied differently depending on who is standing at this podium. So help me understand something. Are you telling me that this chamber is now the place where anyone can come and bring all of their personal problems, grievances, and disputes, and slander and defamation that have absolutely nothing to do with City of Kissimmee, city business, city government, or any member of this board. Because if that's the case, then I must have misunderstood the rules. As of the last meeting, that's exactly what happened. An individual came before this board and used this public forum to discuss matters involving private residents of the city. Not a commissioner, not a city employee, not a city issue, not a government matter, just a regular resident. And not only was it allowed, it was entertained. In fact, there appeared to be an effort to give even more time to consider, to continue.
Excuse me, Madam Mayor. Sorry to interrupt you. Is this anything pertaining to an item we have on the agenda, or you're just speaking like on the decorum?
I'm speaking on the decorum because decorum rules were broken.
Okay. Are you guys okay with this, board?
City Attorney?
You have 3 minutes, and I think that's what we afforded the last time. So please speak briefly.
I can continue? Okay, thank you. In fact, there appeared to be an effort to give even more time to continue discussing matters that had no relevance to city business. Yet, when I have attempted to speak, I've been interrupted, limited, redirected, or shut down under the justification of decorum or relevance. So, which is it? Do the rules matter, or do they only matter depending on who is speaking and who benefits from it? Because consistency is the foundation of fairness. If decorum is important, then it should apply equally to everyone who approaches this podium, regardless of who they are, who they know, or whether their comments are convenient to certain individuals sitting on this board. And, excuse me, I'm running out of time. When residents see one person allowed to bring personal attacks or private disputes while others are restricted from speaking, it creates the appearance of a favoritism, whether intentional or not, that undermines public confidence on this board. If you want to preach about decorum, then practice it. If you want to enforce the rules, then enforce them equally. And as this podium is meant for city business, then keep it about city business for everyone, not just when it's convenient for some people.
Thank you. Ms.
I'm happy to just chime in for just a brief minute. Everybody has a right to speak for 3 minutes, period. Yes, you did, but you were speaking about other people, not speaking about city business. So
Because that happened.
moving forward, everybody has 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, I was speaking on something that happened.
Thank you, Madam Attorney, for that clarity. We will now move on to Mr. Ray Parsons. Sir, you get 3 minutes. Your name and address, please, for the record. At 3 minutes, the microphone will turn off, and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Ray Parsons, 111 East Monument Avenue. Some of y'all probably realize that I withdrew from the seeking seat 2 for City Commission. And I just wanted to explain just for a second that I had hoped that by being a candidate, it might give me a better platform to talk to some of the commissioners and some of the staff, some of the key staff, department heads, which I did do. And I felt like I made a lot of progress with that. We had a lot of really good conversations about what I felt was a good platform and directions that I thought our city could go. And that was really my primary objective at the time, was to get the message out of the platform and the issues and see what we could do to make advancement. So I felt like that was achieved. Unfortunately, I don't call her my opponent, but the person running for the seat was Angela Eady, and I found her to be incredibly gracious and very capable. and didn't feel like she was the person I needed to replace. I just wanted the issues done. We had some great meetings, and we saw eye to eye, and I think she pledged to help get some of this stuff done. And some of the other commissioners I've met with, same thing, and the mayor you and I have met, we've discussed some of them. I look forward to working with all of y'all and the department heads that I met with. I still believe and will always believe that this community has tremendous potential, and we, for whatever reason, just haven't chosen to go get it. But I think we can do it. I don't think it would really be that hard, because a good idea has a life of its own, and it just needs to be messaged in the right way. But I know all these people are spending their time here to come listen to these things. They all want the best. All we need is good ideas and good leadership to make it happen, and I hope y'all can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons. We appreciate you. Thank you. We move right on to Ms. Lillian Evans. Ms. Evans, you get 3 minutes, at which time the microphone will turn off. Your name and address, please, for the record.
Bonnie Street, Kissimmee. I have to ask questions that have been on my mind since the last meeting. How long did it take you to find a family member of mine? Because where I sit, it certainly appears that the focus has shifted away from the issues about the mayor. I have raised and toward finding ways to discredit me personally, which you don't discredit me. Just let that be heard. For months, I have brought forward concerns, asked questions, requested accountability, and exercised my right as a resident to participate in the public process. I have not asked for special treatment. I have not asked anyone to agree with me. I have simply exercised my right to speak. Yet when I continue to witness our attempts to redirect attention away from the concerns from the Kissimmee are being raised instead of place the spotlight on me and those connected to me. That's troubling, don't you think, Ms. Mayor? Well, when the residents raise concerns, the response should be addressed the concerns. It should not be a search for family members, personal connections, or any other distractions that have nothing to do with issues before the city. Whether intentional or not, it creates appearance of retaliation. It creates the appearance that speaking up comes with consequences. The message being sent is clear. If you question those who in power, you may become a target rather than a concern becoming the topic of the decision. But here's the problem with that approach. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't answer questions. It doesn't address the facts of what we are addressed to begin with, what I started with the 2.0. It doesn't build public trust. All it does is create more diversion and further confidence in the process. I am still here, I'm still speaking, and I will continue to exercise my rights as a resident of the city, because the public participation should never be met with personal attacks and accountability, and what should never be mistaken as hostility. What is the decorum, Ms. Mayor? And also, I'm sorry that I missed your appointment on KUA on the 10th, because you are on our taxpayers' money in Puerto Rico. I hope you enjoyed yourself on our money.
Thank you. We now move on to the consent agenda. Do any commissioners have a conflict of interest to declare on any items on the consent agenda? Commissioners?
None, Madam Mayor.
No. Vice Mayor? Commissioner Ortiz? No. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Angela Eady, second by Commissioner Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. We now move to discussion items. City Commission recesses and convenes as the Community Redevelopment Agency Board. 8A, DKCRA Holiday Lighting RFP Award.
Good evening, CRA Board. We are here tonight to talk about the holiday lighting RFP.
At this point, staff is requesting approval for the RFP 2026-010 for We Hang Christmas Lights, Florida. The Downtown Kissimmee CRA and City of Kissimmee sought the services of a licensed and qualified vendor to support the holiday decorations for the upcoming holiday lights in fiscal year 2027. We requested that vendors provide us both a standard decoration proposal and a proposal to include enhanced decorations to see this event grow as we did in previous years. A total of 9 bids were submitted in response to the solicitation. After careful consideration, staff is requesting that we award this bid to We Hang Christmas Lights, Florida. The selection committee believed the firm demonstrated a high level of experience and a successful track record providing a large-scale holiday lighting display, a competitiveness of their pricing relative to our scope of services, and a high overall quality of their product and services and designs that they offer.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This is allow for discussion. Any discussion, commissioners, on this? No?
Not this point.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the selection of DKCRA Holiday Lights RFP Award?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Vice Mayor Edie.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. The Community Redevelopment Agency Board adjourns and reconvenes as the City Commission. 8B, Resolution Implementing Article 3, Chapter 1, Section 6 of the City Charter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. This resolution would authorize the city clerk to administer the candidate lottery process for all municipal elections and to transmit the certified results directly to the Osceola County Supervisor of Elections. By passage of this resolution, we won't any longer have to have a special meeting or have any specific agenda items in future elections. The city clerk will make the certifications, will conduct the lottery process, and will transmit the results to the Supervisor of Election. Any challenges that would come up as a result of the commission established qualifications, as well as those qualifications that are within the city charter, would be disputed with the circuit court. So if commissioners have any questions, I think the city attorney is prepared to answer. And we also, I believe, have our elections attorney available if there's any further questions. But following commission discussion, staff recommends approval of this resolution.
Thank you so much. We will now allow for discussion. Commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to add to this, or questions or comments? No?
No.
Have none. So do I have a motion to approve the resolution implementing Article 3, Chapter 1, Section 6 of the City Charter?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Martinez, second by Vice Mayor Edie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. We move to 8C, discussion and direction regarding amendments to temporary sign regulations. City Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. I received a request from Commissioner Martinez to place this item on the agenda. If the Commission recalls, last year we amended or actually passed a new sign ordinance, and it was as a result of research that we had done in accordance with a Supreme Court case that no longer allows local governments to regulate signs by the content of those signs. And so as a result, we redrafted the entire sign ordinance. As part of the ordinance, basically the placement of campaign signs, which we used to call campaign signs, we can't call them campaign signs anymore. So they're temporary signs that are placed during a period 90 days in advance of an election up to 30 days after the election. It has restrictions on how many of those signs could be placed. Within residential properties, it's an unlimited number of signs. However, the ordinance was passed, and for commercial properties, it restricts it to 1 sign per property. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Martinez to present, I think, the reasoning for her request.
Thank you, Board. So the reason that I brought this up to City Manager is because we have a lot of candidates in the city of Kissimmee and the county, judges, so many races, and I just didn't see how it make any sense that if I got there first and I had a sign on that property, then no one else is allowed to have a sign. Like right now, there's multiple properties in the city limits that have my sign and other people that are actually in the same race, and I think that's fair because that's a good representation of the candidates at their choice that they can choose from. I know it got crazy with signs in the past, but I just don't think that it's fair that I have, like, my signs were ordered in advance, so I was able to put some out. So I even offered some candidates, like, hey, I'll take one side of my sign off so you can do yours on the other, but I don't want to mix one thing with the other. So I just think it would be fair for other candidates to have the same opportunity that I have to place signs on whichever commercial property. So I was trying to seek if this board would take into consideration the same verbiage we have for the house, we can have as well for the commercial properties, obviously on a temporary basis, 90 days before the election, 30 days after the election, so we don't lose what we're trying to accomplish here.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Board, do you have anything else you'd like to add to this? Vice Mayor? Nothing? Commissioner Ortiz? I just have a question. This was, this won't affect, obviously, city-owned property. Like, for example, we no longer have the Civic Center, right? But we'll have the library and we'll have other areas. Will that also apply to those areas?
So the way the ordinance works is public property is different in that it prohibits the placement of signage unless specifically authorized by the government that's in control of that property. So on any city properties, the code is no. And the commission's policy that you passed with regard specifically to the early voting locations is no longer are we going to allow signs. Not that that's a relevant issue anyway, because the Civic Center is no longer the early voting location. With regard to the library, that would be up to Osceola County because they're a tenant of that property, so they control what signage could be allowed during the elections.
So they're the tenant, but we're the owners. So
Excuse me?
you're the landlord. The city's the landlord?
We own the land, but they have a ground lease with us, and then they built the library on the city property. So I think technically they would be responsible, although, Madam Attorney, maybe I'm wrong.
I've never seen them at all signs though.
No, they could control it. In terms of signs, yeah. If the question is if we're amending this to allow for more signs on private property, that would be considered private.
That's not the question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let me rephrase the question, because that's not the question. The question is, the county is the tenant. The city is the landlord. Who decides when the signs, or do the signs go onto that property? That's the question. We're not talking about private property. We understand the private property. I'm talking about city-owned, county leased. That's the question.
Okay, so city owns it, county is the tenant.
I.e. the library.
Yes.
So what does the lease say? Do you have a lease and we can review that?
I don't think it has any reference.
It's from 1990.
Yeah.
Again, from the 1990s when everything was, backdated from, 30 years ago. Here we go again. I just love that 1990 number.
Yeah.
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 I'm sorry. 1990 seems to be a bad year.
Yeah.
Austin was in elementary school back then.
So do you understand my point? Like, do we update these things because it creates a situation with, so do we have a workshop to talk about this? But I know time is of the essence because we're during election season, so it should be fair. I understand that. But I guess those are the questions. And every time that we change an ordinance, how did we even get it approved if we knew that it was one per, was that even allowed? According to please explain this to me.
You guys can regulate however you want to in terms of time, place, and manner, and that includes the number of signs. You just can't say one sign per candidate because then we would have to read the content of the sign to enforce it. Right. So, and it was proposed as one sign per lot for commercial.
City Attorney.
And adopted that way, I'm sorry.
Okay. So City Attorney, my question to you, just so we could get clarity so that later we're not coming back, because the problem is these ordinances get approved, we call a motion, and then we come back 6 months later to change something we approved 6 months ago. And it just seems like we've been doing that a lot. And when we approve it, it should have all these things ironed out. And so we had it approved at one sign. Is that an option to approve it at, let's say, 10 signs, 15 signs? I mean, is that not an option? According to city manager, it is an option.
Yes.
Sure. Yes. I mean, the sign code was adopted in its totality. It was a very large document. that was before my time on this dais, so.
Yeah, I do respect and understand that. This ordinance was prior to you, so I want to
Yes.
respect that, but I just
And
want.
also, I don't know why that was put into the code as it was written.
I didn't agree with it when it happened.
But that was brought before you guys, and you have the discretion to make changes to it.
Correct.
You did not, and that's how this.
Well, just for
process
clarity,
works.
I did mention during the meeting my concerns about the signage and the changes that they were doing, but it did pass regardless. So I'm just trying to, almost all my signs are up. I'm just really looking for opportunity for others to be fair. I don't know you, Madam Mayor, but I've never seen the library allow like 4x4s or 4x8s or anything like that.
There was a moment when we had a bunch of things there. They allowed a certain signage, and people, and then they would take them down. Mike, do you have any idea what the sign requirements were at the Civic Center, which would carry over to the library?
So here's the issue with the Civic Center, because that was the early voting location. There's different rules that are allowed during on property controlled by the supervisor of election. Because remember, during that period, we turned that property over to her, and so during the election, the City Commission has always, as a policy, allowed signage at those voting locations. So what you all did last year, because of past issues we had at the Civic Center when it was an early voting location, you passed a policy that said no longer are we going to allow signage on city property that serves as an early voting location. So if the Civic Center was an early voting location this year, no signs at all would be allowed in accordance with the city code, which has never allowed signs on public property without authorization from the city.
So that takes us back to the library.
Yeah.
It's still a public property.
Yeah. So the library, it really just comes down to the legal interpretation of whether or not the landlord, as the landowner, the city, controls it, or whether the county controls it. We can make the argument that the city code says no signage on public property, period, and tell the county we're not allowing it. The question is whether or not the lease references any allowance for the tenant to do so, and at least from our staff standpoint, we don't believe it addresses it at all. So maybe if it's silent, the code prevails.
Can I?
Ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, there's not a lot of property over there with the.
My point.
That's
Okay,
true.
so
It's just
we're on
the
the
first
same
row
page.
of parking.
Yeah.
My point. So then what happens is you've got 500 signs trying to squeeze into,
6 feet.
6 feet of, and that is dangerous. If it's windy, we've had where the storms come in, especially at this time of the year, because it's hurricane season. Everyone's trying to, and this has happened before. I've seen it where then the signs are flying. So I understand your point, Commissioner. I really think it's valid, and it would be fair to the other candidates. And so I want to find a happy medium with all of this.
I think an easy way to handle it, to avoid 500 signs, what's the most candidates you can have in one election? 30 between the different judges?
City manager, in the past elections, that really was a big mess because Osceola County has its own rules, city has its own rules. But everybody knows here, I don't know how many members of the KPD, every day was a problem because the signs. I should believe we should leave this ordinance the way it is. I don't even know why we bring it to this agenda when we already voted last year recently, and now why we have to change it.
Well, I can answer that question. Mr. Parson, he's in the public still, or I don't know if he left. Mr. Parson has multiple properties, and Mr. Parson allowed myself and almost every person in my race to put a sign. So it wouldn't be fair if he had to choose between one of us. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, he picked me, then they have to take all their signs down. That's why it's being brought back again. It's just not picking and choosing rather than allowing him to have his choice, because he just expressed that he didn't continue his race because he had a great conversation with the vice mayor. So that's, I'm okay with whatever the board decides, but I wanted to make sure that at least I bring it up and be able to voice for all the candidates that are running for office.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I just want to
sorry.
clarify. So Section 4 says it only can be solely used for a public library. So I think you could make the argument that advertising for political purposes is beyond the scope of what the lease says.
Thank you. And I appreciate that because I think that's where Commissioner Ortiz's concern is. But I also understand Commissioner Martinez's point as to allow the property owner to make those decisions. So I think everyone has a very valid point for this. I would dare say, as long as we can hold to that argument, perhaps, I don't know if city manager, would it be too much trouble to get our city attorney to send an amendment or an allongement to the lease, just making sure everyone's on the same page so there's no misunderstandings with the county city attorney, if that's something we can all suggest, just to make sure that it's clear as day, there's no
Gray area.
yeah, we don't need 50 shades of gray here. We need black or white when it comes to this topic.
An email or something.
Just an email, I think, just to kind of set clarity.
This is in terms of the library?
Correct.
Okay, sure, we can
Correct.
do that, but I don't think that that was what we're actually talking about.
I understand that, but I just think, and we're just trying to cover all the bases so that a week from now, we're not having to call KPD for nonsense, you know, and we just know what happens. So we're trying to be cautious and just be ahead of all the challenges that can come across. And as far as private property, private commercial property, should we establish where maybe we have 10, but then again, you said there's probably 30 people. And so, but in all fairness, I mean, the property owner, it's the property owner's discretion. I mean, I would hate for someone to tell me and put so many restrictions on my properties as well. So, and I'm not, God knows, do I have to not vote now because it's a conflict of interest because I also own commercial property? I mean, is this, because, you know, that they'll go down that rabbit hole too. So as long as, if, in full disclosure, I own commercial property and I've been asked to put up signs, so in full disclosure, if I'm not allowed to vote, just tell me here. But,
Yes, you can vote. This is general
okay,
legislative.
I mean, I'm trying to cover all the bases here, so no one's coming back, you know, writing another complaint, sending it to Commission on Ethics because I have a property that I put a sign on. So hearing that, I hear the arguments, both sides, and I think my only concern really is the library, which we can address with a simple email. So,
I
and the
do have a
rest-
question.
Sir?
Do anyone have a record when we passed this ordinance? How was the vote? How many votes in favor and how many commissioner votes nay?
If you have the ordinance number, I could find it fairly quickly.
I don't think there was any dissenting votes.
Yeah.
I think it was 5-0.
Yeah, we have.
And then it was 5-0. Why we are bringing this again? That's my point. We're gonna be changing ordinance every 5 months, every 6 months, every time like someone feel like I don't like the way it is, this ordinance. Let's go and bring this back to the agenda to vote. That's what it is? Or that's the way it's gonna be from now on? Every time we pass an ordinance like this one, it's ridiculous. We vote 5-0 at that time last year. No make sense for me.
During the workshop, it was expressed concerns,
Why we
and
gonna
staff
have a
is here as
workshop?
well. Sir, but can I finish, please? During the workshop, it was expressed concerns, and the concerns were answered at the time. The board spoke through these things, and we moved forward. It wasn't absolutely clear, at least to my person, that this was going to be an issue, so I brought it back to the board for discussion. If you don't want to change your mind, I completely respect that, but I'm just, like I said, voicing for our constituents and the people desiring to run for office. That's all that I'm doing. If it doesn't please the board, then that's fine.
Thank you.
Can I make a question? Can I ask a question,
Yes,
Mayor?
sir. Yes, sir.
Commissioner Martinez, how did you vote in this ordinance last year? Yes or
I
no?
literally just explained that to you like 3 seconds ago. Literally. And I also want to make very clear that this is not to confuse with private commercial properties and putting them in every city limit or every right-of-way. That's not what we're doing here. We want to just allow other people to have an opportunity to put signs. But again, if it does not please the board, I'm okay with that as well.
Thank you. I do want to caution all the candidates that are here and even the ones running up on this board, please just be aware of hurricane season, whenever the hurricanes, and we worry because those signs are projectiles. So please be mindful if you have to bring them down. I know it's a lot of trouble, been there, but those things can become projectiles, they can damage property, they can hurt someone. So I just really want to make sure everyone understands this is just a tough time because of weather inclements. So it's really, really important that we're responsible stewards of our signs. And those are the only things that truly concern me at this point. Safety, order, we're kind of where we're at. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve a change, or where are we with want to do a workshop again? Whatever you guys want. I just wanted to express my concern again. I go back to the concern of the library or any public space. That's really where, because I know how chaotic that can become, and it's my
I'll make a
concern
motion,
with-
Madam Mayor. I'll make a motion to approve with the request of the email to the county expressing the concerns, and also, if possible, also with the city clerk, if we can send an email to at least all of our candidates explaining to them what it is that we're doing so they don't confuse one thing with the other, and we stay with the regulations of the city code.
Is that a clear motion for you, Madam Clerk?
We're not changing the code. You want to keep the code the same, and you just
No,
want
motion to change it with the new changes. Again, this is just the 90 days before the election, 30 days after the election. This is not, we're changing it, this is just for the election cycle part of it.
So just to clarify, if you look on your report, agenda report, there's a table.
Yeah.
And it shows the residential lot says a limited number of signs allowed during the period 90 days before and 30 days after elections held by the Osceola County Supervisor of Elections. We would take that language and then just add it to the box below for non-residential properties, which is basically anything but residential. And then, of course, with public property, we have a whole prohibition against that unless specifically authorized by the commission. So that's what the
Yes, that's
motion
correct.
is.
That's correct. Whatever he
Thank
said,
you.
yes.
Madam Clerk, you're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll clean it up, but I got it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I can second.
Commissioner Martinez makes the motion. Vice Mayor Edie calls a second. All in favor?
Aye.
I will go with an aye on this one. Thank you.
So commissioners, before, so you voted 4-0 to move forward. Now, what that means.
3-0.
No,
Or
I didn't
three-
vote.
No.
I didn't renege.
3-1?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what will happen is we have to draft a new ordinance due to public hearings, so we'll be coming back here in the future. In the interim, would you like us not to enforce the current restrictions? Because we've written some notices of violation to property owners in violation
Yeah.
already.
I would prefer that. And commissioners, if that's okay with you, I just think the property owner shouldn't be penalized because there was confusion on this vote, or there's disagreement on this vote. I don't think the property owners should be penalized. So is everyone okay with allowing the code enforcements to not proceed? Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz, is that okay that we hold? No. Ma'am?
Just to clarify your vote, Mayor, you were a yes or you were a no?
I was a yes.
Yes, okay, 3-1. And to answer Commissioner's question, Ortiz, it was adopted on January the 6th, and it was a unanimous back in January.
So it
ordinance.
was unanimous. Okay, and I kind of like that, and I'm sorry, I just feel that Commissioner Alvarez is not here, so this will also give him a chance to come back and have an opinion as well. I hate when there's not a commissioner here to help us also navigate this. I think it's important that we allow the other commissioners time, and this will allow that as well. So thank you all. Do you need a roll call on this? Are you clear?
No, ma'am. We have a 3-1.
Madam Mayor,
You're good.
Madam Mayor, I have a question. Did your question get answered?
About the city?
The library.
Yes, yes, she did, yes, yes. The question was, did my question get answered about the library? And we did answer it by agreeing to send a quick email to the county. So yes, thank you so much. Yep. All right, I think we're past this item, so we'll move right on to 8D, Advisory Board Vacancies, Board of Adjustment. Mike, City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This request is to make an appointment to fill a recent vacancy on the Board of Adjustments. There are 5 applicants that are eligible to be appointed, which are listed at the bottom of your report. Staff recommends that you appoint a new member.
Thank you. Do you have any nominations?
I would like to make a motion to appoint Mary Isador.
Mary Isidore. Exciting. Okay,
She's a pastor.
She's a pastor, yeah. I will second that. Let me see here. Do I have, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for your nomination, Commissioner. All right, we're almost at the very end. Now we have to hear city officials. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only thing I have is having grown up approximately 45 miles east of the city of New York, I want to just congratulate my New York Knicks for winning for the first time since I was 5 years old. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great comment. That was an incredible game. The last 8 seconds felt like 8 hours. It was incredible. Okay, City Attorney, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I want to reiterate the city manager's sentiment. Go Knicks. We've been waiting 30 years for this.
53.
I know, but since the playoffs. Okay.
Since the playoffs. That's awesome. Well, thank you. City Commission, we'll start with Commissioner Martinez.
Just want to thank everyone for enduring with us through this meeting. As of yesterday, I now am a grandma for 3 beautiful babies. So I had another little girl yesterday. She finally has grandma's eyes. So out of 2 of them, out of 3, I get 1 of them. So congratulations to everyone who qualified as well for their races. And I wish you guys the best of luck in your endeavors. That's it, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ortiz.
Well, I'm so happy. Congratulations again to all the New Yorkers. So,
Northerners.
And then I want to wish a happy Father's Day to all of you guys.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank
And
you.
to some of you too. There'll be sometimes father and mother.
That's
right.
great.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner, and happy Father's Day to you as well. Vice Mayor Edie.
I just want to say we had a fantastic Juneteenth celebration. Oh, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. Okay. We had a fantastic Juneteenth celebration at the lakefront lawn. I mean, it was hot. Don't get it twisted. It was hot. But it turned out fantastic crowd. The music, 69 Boys, they really did their thing. They truly did their thing. So great event. Staff, you guys did that. Love it. Happy Father's Day to Mike as well as Noel.
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Thank you.
That's it, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Deputy City Manager, did you get a head count on the Juneteenth? I know that's your...
I don't. Is Matt here by chance? He's not. No. Okay, we'll get it to you. Just it lags a few days, but we'll get it.
Okay, no problem. I just always like to ask, and you're always so, like, you know those numbers off the
I
top
had
of
a
your head.
lease from 1990 tonight, but I didn't have something from 2 days ago. I will get that for you.
How'd you manage that? Anyway, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to everyone that is a dad or a stepdad that are amazing, and all the granddads. Thank you so much. This meeting, I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion
Second.
to adjourn. Thank you, Commissioner Edie. Second by Commissioner Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.